This right here is the No Idea Podcast with your hosts, the Sturgis brothers, two guys from northern Wisconsin, talking hunting, fishing, and outdoor equipment. So crack a bush latte, kick back, and enjoy the show. No Idea.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode here on the No Idea YouTube podcast. I love freaking scaring you. That's awesome. Hey, welcome back. We are so glad that you are joining us for this episode. But first, before we get into anything, we want to thank everybody for chiming in after our relaunch podcast last week. And you can watch that episode right up here if you want to.
A lot of people chimed in.
Yeah.
And we want to give them a shout out right now.
A lot of people. And the first person we want to give a shout out to is a guy, let's see here, on Facebook. His name is Kalahe Howard. He says, they make these things that will hold the mics for you. We got hands.
Hands hold the mic.
Hold the mics for us.
Boom. Thanks, Clay.
Thanks, Clay. Yeah. Thanks for stating the obvious. It's awesome. Chris Nias Outdoors says, hey, let's set up a collaboration. Yes, we responded. We got to DM you. It would be awesome. I'd love to hear what you have to say and what we can do. Lacey Golot, do you remember her? Does that bring back... She says happy birthday.
Yes, because her birthday is like a day before or after. I forget. Sorry, Lacey, but happy birthday to you as well. Thank you so much for reaching out.
Lacey, long time. And Wade says, I love your videos. Keep them coming. Wade, that's our whole hope and our point is we want to keep these videos coming to basically entertain people like you. So, and then on YouTube, Cooper Krushke says, Cooper, want to know more about the boneyard and the bucks you have been seeing on camera? Any shooters? It's coming. We plan to do some podcasts up at the boneyard, so you can see more about the boneyard. We have the youth hunt, the Wisconsin youth hunt coming up. We will not share the pictures of the shooters that we have up there on public land because we don't want you to come up there and shoot them because we really don't.
The quick and dirty is no.
No,
but
we
don't.
But
yes, because we'll shoot them because it's public land in northern Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. So, hey, welcome back. We are super excited that you are joining us here on our podcast. And today we are going to have a hot button topic conversation among us parents of outdoors men and women, but then also parents of those whose kids are involved in activities and sports. So
if you have a child right now, an adolescent or preteen or even teen, you need to listen up. You need to listen to the whole episode and then our next one as well.
Yes.
Because this is something that's going to relate to you.
So this is a two-part. So here we go. Adam, what are we going to be talking about today that's the hot button topic?
So here's the scenario.
Okay.
The scenario is, Aaron, you play baseball, right?
Correct.
Okay,
yep.
You play baseball. You're 13 years old. I don't know if that's Babe Ruth or whatever, but you pulled a turkey tag for mid-April. And you pulled that tag really early. You got notified really early, and it's March, and you let the coach know. You go up to the coach and say, hey, coach, I pulled a turkey tag with my dad. It's a really special day. We're going to go turkey hunting. I see that you just sent out the schedule, and we have a doubleheader that day, an hour away. So, coach, I'm letting you know I'm not going to be there.
Yes.
And coach turns and says, the age-old thing, I'm guilty of it. I've coached sports.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard it said by myself and by many others. Son,
yep.
You have your entire life to turkey hunt. You need to be at baseball. And therein lies the big debate that we are going to tackle is, do you teach and embrace this lifelong activity, these lifelong skills such as hunting, fishing, other sports, even golf? We can go on and on. We're going to focus on hunting and fishing. But do you do you embrace that passion with a kid at a younger age, or do you embrace the team sport or other mainstream, I'll call it big sports. Let's call it big sports. Big sport aspect of basketball, football, baseball, softball, soccer. Do you embrace that at a younger age? Does that take the priority?
So basically what you're asking is should we have our kids prioritize sports versus hunting and fishing? Yep. And just to clarify, when we're talking sports, we're talking about the big sports, like you said. When your kids are primary age, you're talking soccer. So
I mean, I've seen it. Like, we know that. Listeners, you know this. If you're listening to this, I guarantee you've done it. If you have kids and you're listening, you've been sitting in a lawn chair at a soccer game at a soccer field at 3 p.m. and you're like, get this thing done. I need to get in the bow stand. Hurry up. Let's go.
It's a beautiful night. The front's coming in.
We understand. I hope all of you at least understand that tension, or we want to debate that tension right now.
All right. So what we want to do is we want to present the two cases: sports and then fishing and hunting. So let's start with sports, because let's be honest, both you and I, we grew up in a home in which you and I excelled at sports. Well, you excelled at sports. I did not excel at sports, but we played. Sports was a part of our life. From Little League in Exlin, Wisconsin, the trout capital of the world, right? Little League
capital of the world.
Yes,
Excellent.
Little League, Babe Ruth. We played Exlin Braves. You name it.
They taught you how to play baseball the right way.
Yes.
With the right way to play baseball is to win baseball, and that's how Excellent taught you to play.
Yes, they taught you how to bunt first and then hit second. That's what I love about Excellent. Anyways, so we grew up in that stuff, and you went off and you actually excelled at the college level as well, both with football, but then mostly at track at UW Eau Claire. So we know what it's like to play sports, and we know what sports has sports does what.
So I mean, it does everything from discipline, getting up at the parallels with hunting are incredible. You get up at 5:30 a.m. to make a 6 o'clock lifting session. Yes. That's similar to waking up super early to go set your decoys.
Yes. Yes.
The teamwork. When you're hunting in so many, like, you're the call guy. You're the goose call guy. You know how to call. I'm the decoy guy. There's so many teamwork things that parallel with it, but it teaches you so many different things, from teamwork to discipline, to just being part of something that's bigger than you. And that's why, now I'm going to go a step further and say, like, sports were a big part of your life and my life, but also our wives' lives.
Yeah.
Like, your wife played collegiate rugby at the UW Eau Claire Rugby Club. My wife was a collegiate All-American in softball, and sports it is a cornerstone in our life, and we wouldn't be the people who we are today without sports.
Right.
So and then it's a cornerstone in our lives.
Yeah, and then with our kids now at their age, we have middle schoolers and a high schooler. We see the physical the physical fitness aspect of sports, which is good and healthy, but then also you see the social opportunities, especially at middle school, where the kids are like, we love to be with our friends, we love running with our friends, we love being on basketball teams with our friends and all that stuff. So,
and that's exactly it. Sports provides that social construct and part of belonging that we thrive. It can be unhealthy at times, because sports can also start you're a starter, you're a whatever.
Yeah, the comparison.
But that's part of the reason you do it is socially they're around people with similar values of discipline and being part of something that's bigger than you.
But when they get to high school sports that's when you start to see how limited the sports is, right? Like, you get into football, like, you got 4 years left. Basketball, 4 years left. where when what you said, hunting and fishing, that can come later, right? Like you can hunt and fish the rest of your life. So parents see the sports aspect of things as an investment, right? Some parents, not pointing anybody out, but they see it as an investment in scholarships. We hope our kids move on to play at the next level. But they see it as community. They see it as social development. But so my question for you, because once high school is done with me, or once I was done with high school, like sports was pretty much done. What are some of the lessons that we both learned playing sports that carry over into life?
I think to me the biggest thing has been problem solving. I take pride in that. There's a lot of people, and it doesn't matter what line of profession you're in, if it's management, if it's sales, if it's public sector, if it's private sector. The people, you can tell a difference between a team player and somebody that just sits there and complains. And I think that's the biggest thing that I take away is I take pride in there's a problem at hand, and I'm going to go help fix it, even if it means that I have to sacrifice something. And I truly, at the root of me, that is what I take pride in, and that's what I think I've learned from sports. There's a lot of other things, like, again, like the simple things of discipline of waking up early. I hate mornings. I hate mornings. I'm a night owl. I'll stay up till 1 a.m. and then wake up at 5:30 and go to work. And be efficient and be fine. That's who I am. And I think part of that is just because there's a part of sports that just says you do it because you have to. Right. Because you don't question it because it's bigger than you. You just don't question it. You do it.
And so that comes back to that question, like you said about turkey hunting, or like, hey, sorry, coach, I can't make the tournament next weekend because the rut's happening, right? Yep. And I have a 12-point buck coming in on my stand during the daylight hours. And so sports teaches you, like, hey, you're committed to this team. And if you don't show up to this game, this tournament, or even this practice, you're letting the team down.
Yeah, 100%. You go through practices and you work on things like press breakers. Or you go through things like a 2-minute drill in football. Or you go through bunt coverages. And if you're not there for it, you don't know. So when you're in the pressure of a game, and then people are going to say, well, it's just a game. Well, yes, but our venue, our vehicle for teaching kids in sports, the whole purpose is to teach them success through competition. I'm not saying you have to win, but I'm saying like, you need to learn those things that you aren't letting people down. If you do, if you sign up for something knowing that this is what the schedule is, well, if you don't show up, there might be a consequence. And I think that's what it gets down to is, are you willing to accept the consequence of I'm choosing to do this, which is totally fine because that's a priority in your life, but that's taking an opportunity away from somebody else. So we're going to give them that reward.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. So, hey, if you're listening right now, we would love to hear from you, parents listening. Have you ever felt the pull from like practice and games that are happening and that are in competition, I guess, if you will, for like hunting or fishing trips? Have you been in a position where like, oh my gosh, we had this Canadian walleye trip all planned, and then now, football is going to have practice in August, but we were supposed to be in Canada. Right?
I mean, we know this is real stuff, people. Like we're giving these examples, but we know people like that. But if you're that person, if you're the person that you have more miles on your family van right now, your 6-year-old family van than you do your 20-year-old bass boat. If you have more hours on that, then you're who we're talking to. We want to hear from you.
Yes, absolutely. And the reason that Adam and I are actually talking about this is because it's become, I mean, this is our life now. Like my kids, we're invested in soccer now, and we're dropping money on soccer. You're dropping money on soccer. You got basketball coming up.
Oh,
So
I was waiting for this.
Oh boy. Don't get yourself in trouble.
I've been waiting for this because we have absolutely done that. We have dropped money on this.
Yep.
And we've invested in it. And we're getting to the extent, and this might be that transition where I can gladly say, let's do this is not on our script.
All right.
And I'm going to say this. So my daughter is a preteen. She's going to be in high school soon. And I have another daughter who's late elementary.
Wait, isn't your daughter 13? That's not a preteen.
No, that's a teen. You're right. That's a teen. In all the years that we've had and we've been involved, and there's multiple layers of youth sports, and that's kind of what we have really spent so much time. My wife and I have spent so much time dissecting everything about youth sports and what the purpose is. We have paid in 6 years of being involved in some sort of youth sports, we've only paid, be it campsites, hotel rooms, or anything else, we've paid for 4 nights.
Yeah.
And it's not because we're going back and forth. It's because we've chosen to do something that stays closer to home. Yes, it's less competitive. Maybe the quote-unquote coaching isn't as high quality.
Right.
But I think your experience, you can also say that coaching might be higher quality initially, but that gets debatable later on.
But here's the thing. Okay, so we talked about sports. But the thing is this. Once the whistle blows, right, at the end of their career, and you hang up the jerseys, what do you have left? So, Adam, you excelled at football, right? I mean, you played against the likes of Jimmy Leonard. You were recruited by.
I broke up a pass once. I did. I had a 2-run double off the fence. Bill Van Dorn and Kevin Olsen scored. They were on second and third. Bill Van Dorn and Kevin Olsen scored as a 2-run double to win the game. So thank you very much.
Yep. And you went to UW Eau Claire, started with football, concussions, all that good stuff. You stopped football. You excelled at track at the collegiate level. But once all of that is hung up, what's left, right? I mean, sports are great. They're great stuff. And I think we covered all the great things that they teach our kids, teach us, all that good stuff. But does it feed that thing inside of you? Like, so let's flip the coin. What happens if we're investing in our kids' sports, traveling all around the Midwest, doing all this stuff, having our kids do basketball, volleyball, and baseball all at the same time? What happens to our kids in the outdoors?
We're seeing it firsthand. I mean, we are. What's my saying? The blinking neon lights all around us. We're seeing it. I mean, right now it's a focus not just in Wisconsin but all over is youth hunts and increasing youth hunters and all this stuff. And it's extremely important because the youth hunters driving a passion for hunting and fishing creates a passion for conservation, and that's where we need to build. But right now we're seeing a decline in that. And why is that? Well, there's a parallel. I mean, there's a parallel between, and we talked about, I'm going to take a step back and say, yep, you and I did all the sports. We played travel baseball. We played travel basketball. The difference now is that everything overlaps. My daughter has kids going from her basketball practice that ends at 7 p.m. and goes to a volleyball practice that starts at 8 p.m. and goes till 9:30.
Yep.
And that's in middle school. So when are you ever so it's multiple sports at multiple times year round. That's the thing. So when we take them out of the outdoors, how do we expect them to build a passion for hunting and fishing when hunting and fishing, it's not about just driving out to the crib and catching 25 crappies. That's not how it works.
Right.
What people think that.
Right. And I remember gathering in the Bruce gymnasium for basketball practice at like 6:00, and they planned it around hunting.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Like they knew when we were going to be in the woods and so forth. So, and I personally believe like it's common sense. It has nothing to do with gaming and the laziness of the next generation, whatever people say. I think the declining hunter and fishing participation, the less conservation funding is due to the fact that these kids are being stretched thin and they're being pulled in every direction. And the thing losing out is hunting and fishing.
And I do think I disagree with you in a point where the video gaming, the social media aspect, the laziness that is produced by that is real, and I don't want to discredit that, but everything else with the youth sports and how much they're spreading kids thin is a real thing too. But gaming and stuff like that, that's a real thing as well. I don't want to say it's not because of that, but that's affecting adults.
But
too.
I will say, for kids today, it feels like if they don't learn hunting and fishing while they're young, the odds of them to pick it up later in life are probably really, really, like the odds are not good.
100%. So if you're going from volleyball practice to basketball practice to whatever, and you're trying to instill the basics of hunting, of scouting, setting up tree stands, even just walking through the woods to learn nature's characteristics, you're not going to be able to do that. So what we're doing, and I've caught myself doing this with my own kid, is doing it for them. And then we set up a deer stand and say, okay, the deer are probably going to come here.
Yeah.
So, or we're going to drive around on a four-wheeler until we see a grouse, where you and I had to walk 5 miles with Mike Hawley and Dad to see one
in the Blue
grouse.
Hills. Yeah. And like, in the hard part now is like there's a big debate, and it's actually gotten contentious a little bit, is the whole idea of youth seasons and mentor hunts are ruining overall hunting for other adult men, women who are out in the woods. And it's like, but is it really making a difference in Wisconsin? Because we're trying to teach these youth, and we're trying to show them and help them develop like woodsmanship, all that good, like patience and tracking and scouting and all that good stuff that if they don't learn it now, I don't know if they're ever going to learn it.
Well, we did this. This is why we did it. This was back in June. We texted the family and said, hey, we understand the November gun deer hunt is ridiculous. The amount of people that are coming in the state of Wisconsin, we see a flood of people on Saturday and Sunday, blah, blah, blah. It's not successful for our kids. It's not a good situation for our kids. So let's make the youth gun deer hunt super special for just them. Mm-hmm. Just for the purpose of teaching them the qualities that we learned in 1996 when I saw 250 deer on opening day. But I think what the biggest thing that I'm taking from them not having opportunities or going to see or going to do these things are you're undermining intrinsic motivation if kids don't have that opportunity to do this at a young age. Yep. That age when they are being exposed to these things is a critical development window, both mentally and physically, with these, whether it's hunting and fishing or any other lifetime activity. Physically, you're developing that way, and that's the best time to learn it. But also there's subtle messages when you sit with a kid and you say, when you look them in the face and say, hey, you can do that for the rest of your life. You need to do this now. That subtle underlying message is your passion right now, your interest doesn't matter. And I think that's my big takeaway at this point in time is the message we're sending to kids when you say you can do that for the rest of your life.
I wish it was easy. But we live in a day where it's not easy anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
everything's so blended. You got volleyball, softball, and you got basketball all at the same time. All right. So that's where we're going to pause today. So we looked at the case for sports and we looked at the case for getting the kids outdoors early. But what happens when these two worlds collide? When, let's say, opening weekend lands on playoff football, right? Or when practice schedules eat up your deer camp traditions. And that's what we're going to tackle on the next episode. We'll talk about the collision and the tough choices that families have to make between sports and their kids and hunting traditions. And you don't want to miss it. So make sure that you subscribe, drop us a comment with your thoughts so far, and we would love for you to join us on part 2. So, okay.
Good talk.
See you out there.
Right here.